Unfortunately, I'm gonna be the hater on this card. I honestly, I do hate cards like these.
80% of the people were playing the same freaking deck.
Welcome to WWB Worldwide Broadcast. What's up, guys? We're back, episode 24 of WWB. Just a me and Billy episode. If you guys are watching on the screen, though, me and Billy became Ward cards. Woo! We're the new cards. We're gonna be in Gen 3, Billy. Don't worry. Everybody
We
doesn't.
made it.
Yeah, they don't know it, but this is actually a sneak peek preview of the Gen 3 cards, and me and Billy we're made into cards, guys. So, but yeah, no, I thought I would throw that out there. So if you only listen, you're missing out, and you should probably get on YouTube or on Spotify too. It is in video, and you should definitely watch it and know what we're talking about. Otherwise, you'll be clueless and you won't be a part of it. So don't miss out. Let the FOMO run wild. But anyway, let's get on with the episode. We got the Summer League, guys. As you know, we always like to keep up to date with it. We're on week number 5. And Billy had a pretty spicy format that he did for the league. So, Billy, if you want to talk a little bit about what you did for week 5 format.
Indeed spicy. Okay. Week 5 was a special format. It was chaos format, which is not an official word there. But the premise is simple. Nothing is limited. Nothing is banned. Go nuts. Do whatever you want. I do not care. I do care.
See, we're cool like that on WW. Sorry, we're cool like that on WWB, right, Billy? We get to make up our own formats that nobody else runs, not even the Ward staff.
That's right, yeah, and I don't ever want them to run it. So, it was actually more fun than I thought it would be. I've done my game already. I lost, and then you played your game just right before this.
Yeah, against Mish. It was a pretty fun one. We actually didn't run too many of the broken cards. It actually turned out. I mean, a couple of cards that were limited, but not like I said. I ran 3 Revival Priests, 3 Wrath of the Old Ones, and then 3 Visitor from Beyond. But that was the only cards that I was kind of cheating with. Other than that, all the rest of my cards were viable cards that people can play. So didn't go too crazy in this one, but like you said, some people did break out cards that can't be played, which I'm sure we'll get to.
Yeah, I mean, I did. I guess I didn't go too crazy. I had, wow, I didn't have visitors in my deck. That's funny. I had 3 Artists, 3 Ward United, 2 Holy Light, 2 Dragon Rage.
Mm-hmm.
So a little tame, but I mean, still, it's kind of funny putting 3 of the same promo in your deck, and
just making a deck that is like have 3 copies of any card in the game, like that is the format that we played, and it's just like the board would look a lot different if that was the case, right? If everything was able to be played. Secretly, okay, I know we're about to go on a rant, Billy, and talk about how busted this game would be if that was the case, or how ridiculous this game would be. I think there actually could be still a viable game even with those cards in the game. Is I might be doing a hot take, and now you're gonna flame me. But from what I've seen, yes, the game would probably not be the funnest it is, or like the healthiest it would be, but like I think you could still make the game work in a way. I think they put enough cards in Gen 2 to kind of deal with a lot of the cards in Gen 1, and I think honestly, like if you played it enough, I think there's a world where you could get to a spot where there would be a format. Would it be kind of just like 2 decks that probably would be running around, a deck that counters the powerful deck and then the powerful deck, and maybe like a third one that like kind of does whatever. But I don't know. Like you said, I think it's good that these cards, they did do what they did to them, like limit and ban them and all these things. But like, I don't know. I think the game, at least at a high level, when I look at it from what I've seen from the game, I think there could be potential where it's like, hey, if they did have it like this, the game would still be playable and it wouldn't be like totally not fun.
Sure. It's playable. But I mean, there's 2 gigantic problems with playing Chaos. You've got, and it didn't help that we didn't have a time limit, but that's the nature.
Yeah, that's the time limit problem. Yeah, but honestly, not a lot of people win over like too far over a time limit. Like I think that most of the matches were still pretty decent. So, like I said,
sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Hold on a second. I'm about to
They'll just think I was barking. It's all good.
Give me like 1 minute.
Okay. All right, I'll fill. But yeah, like we were saying, like the format is interesting. It's one of those things where, like we were just saying, it's like it's fun to see these cards be played, and it's fun for like this stuff to be shown. But I do agree, like I think it is a lot healthier to have the limited list and have the bans in the game. It is a cool experiment to see what it would look like without it, but it definitely I at the end of the day, as much as I just might have said like, oh yeah, like the game would be fine, I think I enjoy the game at the spot it is right now. You know, it's definitely in a pretty healthy spot compared to what it would be if we had access to every card and have 3 copies, right, Billy?
Yeah, the game is healthier when there's controls put on what's allowed, and I think ideally you would want those to be in the cards themselves, but sometimes you make cards and you don't see all the angles. So, and that's perfect. That happens in every card game. Like someone's going to figure out the crazy tech that no one intended, and it's like, well, obviously we can't have that in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a good example of that is the Hourglass of Time Black Dragon.
Right.
Um, that combo.
Infinite. Yeah.
It technically has been the game the whole time, but just kind of sat there and no one really thought about it. So
yeah, if anyone doesn't know what happened, what Billy's talking about is, so there's a card, Hourglass of Time. What it does is basically reset your whole turn. It's from Gen 1, and basically, so at any point in the game, you can play Hourglass of Time, and it'll reset back to the beginning. And so what you could do is, there's a card called Black Dragon, and its effect, if you roll the 6 at the beginning of your turn, you would skip your opponent's next turn. And so what you could do is, if you had a Visitor from Beyond in your cemetery, and then you basically play a way to recur it, like, you have Hourglass of Time in your cemetery, you play Visitor from Beyond, pull Hourglass of Time out, and then you would roll for Black Dragon's effect. Then you would, if you didn't get it, you'd play Hourglass of Time, and then you basically reset everything, so it'd be back in the cemetery. Then you'd Visitor from Beyond and keep. So basically, you see what he's saying is you could keep causing this whole play over and over and over again. And so what ended up happening was they changed the way Hourglass of Time works, where it has to stay in the cemetery. It can't leave the cemetery. It basically has like a holy light treatment, and which I think is a healthy way for them to kind of treat cards in the future too. If they are too powerful, make them so they can't leave the cemetery. And so it's like, yeah,
address the problem, not the card, so because I think most of the way people were playing Hourglass Time was the problem. But anywho, like the two major problems with the format, in my opinion, with Chaos is there's one, the ban card is its own problem, and then
say its name, Dragon of Time.
You didn't even say it right. Time Dragon.
Oh, Time Dragon. Shoot, I have the other one in my head.
You were so bad at hating Dragon of Time.
I hate that card too. All the dragons can be banned. Ban all of them. All those dragons. Get them out of here.
Number one dragon hater. But and then number two problem, there's too much recursion for the game to be healthy, because an official play, there's a 50-minute timer, and even with the cards we have, you can still get to the time limit with not like a whole terrible amount of effort. So just adding like, I can have 3 copies that give me any magic card. I have 3 copies that give me any card. I have 3 copies that give me any creature. I have 3 copies that can bounce a creature back and put one on the field. Like there's just too much stuff to just keep the game going forever. And I mean, I've played 90-minute games, and it's not fun.
Oh,
like,
no.
The goal of the game is for people to play and have fun. And if you reach the point where the game is not fun, then what's the point? Now, with all that being said, did I have fun playing this week? Yes. I enjoyed like just do whatever, go nuts. I would never want to do that on a regular basis. This is like a once in a, for fun, But I mean, the whole, like, if you're going to say, well, why, if you hate the format, why did you put it on the Ward League? The point of the format is to showcase why there needs to be a limited ban list. Mm-hmm. You have to have guardrails on the game, or else it's just stupid.
Yeah, it gets very repetitive, and like you said, things start to feel really silly. Like I know there was like my Adam V, he was on the podcast last episode, and he had a deck with Time Dragon, and yeah, basically what he was able to do was make his opponent draw their whole deck out. So they drew like 22 cards, and then they had to discard all the way down to 8. But then with the way that Dragon of Time works is he's able to put his hand back into his deck. So he also drew out a bunch of cards, but then he was able to put his whole hand back into his deck. So he just had a whole deck to play with, and they had 8 cards. It's like, can that exist in the game? Probably not. And so it's like, yeah. So like you said, it's like, oh yeah, it's cool to do it once or maybe twice, just be like, oh yeah, this is a cool thing. But then it's like, any more times you're just like, okay, this game isn't even fun. It's like, this is all that they're gonna do every time is just try to get these goofy, like weird combos that's not even playing the game. It's just basically playing what I like to call solitaire. Is when a game. There was a point where to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh, there was a deck that was very similar to that where it was called Danger. Dark World, and basically that your opponent like could spend like a whole like 35 minutes on just their turn because it was a dice rolling effect. Imagine that. And they were able to basically like force cards because it had a lot of searching and recurring from your cemetery and your graveyard that it kept activating effects. And before you knew it, I remember sitting there at a table one time, and it was like 35 minutes went by, and I didn't play a single card. It was just like, what are we doing here? Like, I'm watching you play solitaire. It's like, yeah, card games really got to be careful. Yes, is it fun to give a player something new? And I'm sure Magic struggles with this too. It's like a new feeling for their game, but at the same time, not ruin just like the like nature or like the culture of their game of like how it functions, And so like that's kind of the hard thing with card games, I find, is like finding that sweet spot, right, where it's like something isn't too crazy strong where it just ends up being kind of like a game of solitaire.
And let's give Ward some credit. Like Gen 1, all right, we just went nuts and had put some cards on the table that look fun. Okay, let's limit like 12 of them because like, yeah, all right, it was a little too strong. And then in Gen 2, we've had it essentially running for about a year now.
Yeah.
One limited card. We're doing pretty good.
Yeah, went from 12 to 1. I mean, you can't complain too much with that. I agree. I think they did a really good job with Gen 2.
But yeah, anywho, enjoyed the format. I will play it on the side for fun. I never want to see this in any kind of official tournament. Ever.
Yeah, no, please don't try to set it up. I like you said, it's a cool thing to see. It's like one of those things when it's like you're a kid, you're like, ooh, that looks really sweet and yummy and tasty, and it's just like you try it and then you're just like, okay, and then you get older and you've been doing it for like 7 or 8 years and you're just like, yeah, I don't really care to eat this Laffy Taffy anymore. I don't care to do these things. You're like, I'm good. I don't need that anymore in my life. But yeah, like you said, I wanted to go a little bit and rant, but you're kind of calming me down by telling me that you're not going to run this format again. I was getting ready, Billy, to have the talk of you telling me, hey, this week went pretty well. Maybe we'll do this on the next season or whatever. And I was like, no, we're not doing this. We're canceling it. I'm putting a stop on it. I don't care.
I mean, games and tournament settings should be fair and give everybody an equal chance. And there's just nothing. I'm not gonna say fair, but it's just dumb. Like I wouldn't play in a tournament like that. So the many people over the years have said, I don't understand why this card's limited. I don't understand why we need a limited list at all. Okay, here you go.
Right.
What did you learn? So just experience it firsthand and then be like, yeah, okay.
But I guess we should caveat, if you are at home or if you are playing on Untapped or whatever for fun, definitely try out these cards. Like you said, it definitely is fun. But yeah, you never want to go to a tournament and the rules are like every card's available and you're just like, oh cool, now some wacko is gonna be in here playing Time Dragon, some $900 card that very few people have. Yeah. Off of eBay.
Oh yeah, you played Yu-Gi-Oh. It's like, oh, when Mechanical Chaser was available, it's like, oh okay, I have the one of 100 exclusive card that you can only get for one against. Yeah, okay. You can get it in 1 in 1,000 packs, and it's hundreds of dollars.
You say that too, but that's where I am. I get a little worried with the promo cards. I know in one of our other episodes we brought up just the power level promos. I know what you're saying. It's a little easier to get promos, but I'm just telling you is like, you got to be careful with cards like that are very limited to access for people to get and make them super strong. You know what I mean? It's like, because that kind of thing can happen where you get to a tournament, 3 years down the road, maybe there's a busted thing with Scarlet now and people can, abuse it that have it, but a lot of people won't have it, so it's like, that's where I just...
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
We haven't seen anything mega busted yet from any promos.
I know, but we're only a little ways in, Billy. That's what I'm trying to say,
so
right? We aren't seeing it now, but there will be a moment where Billy's going to be thankful he has those promo cards because they might come back to really benefit him a lot in the future, and a lot of people won't have access to them. So that's where I want to make sure that it's like the Ward staff understand. It's like, these are cool cards, and I think they do a really good job of balancing them. Like, after going over all the cards, I think they are pretty balanced. Like we've tested, and that's the cool thing about this league, Summer League, is like we tested out these cards. Ward United, I played it first week. It's not that great, honestly. When you really break it down, yes, it can work. It's not that great of a card. And same with like Maximum Ward. Still got to roll. Both players have to roll this dice, so it's very wishy-washy. Is it a powerful effect? Yes, but again, there's a lot of caveats, and same with the Storm card. What is that name of that card that does the lightning storm?
Cosmic Storm. Maximum. Well, Cosmic Storm's 5 HP everything.
Yeah.
Maximum Ward is destroy everything.
Destroy everything. And then even the creatures. I mean, whatever the hell they did to our poor, a Moon Owl, we still are. We need answers from that. With the next dev on here is going to have to hell to pay when we bring up Moon Owl. That's all I'm saying. We're coming.
Making me look like a dang fool.
Yeah, exactly. We're all hyping it up on our episode, and then it's going to come out and no one's playing the card.
You reminded me of Ward United. There's a tweet that I just keep going back to. I'll send it to you. It says, bro, you're fine. You just need an impossible sequence of events to play out in perfect order against all odds, and you'll be fine.
No, exactly.
That's how I feel sometimes with these cards.
No, that's fair. That's fair. But like you said, at the end of the day, I mean, I think, they definitely do a pretty good job of keeping them in line and in check. But, they are slowly, I think, starting to become a little stronger. It's like, would I hate to have a Ward Maximum card? No, I think in my deck, it could replace a lot of cards. But obviously, again, it's not, I wouldn't say it's like at the top tier, like the top, end of everything. So we're not there yet, but I do know what you mean. It's like, who knows? Gen 3 might come out, and who really knows? But speaking of busted cards, I have a little story to tell you, Billy. Though I did play Adam, and he put a dragon of Time Dragon. I always, you know what? I will mess it up every time now. I have something when it comes to names when they're so similar, my brain will just cross them over tons and tons of times over. So I'll be messing it up forever. But Time Dragon. Cool old Time Dragon, and I thought it would be a good chance to just maybe showcase to everybody, people who like haven't seen what Time Dragon and how it works, because honestly, I was watching one of the other games this week because I don't run Time Dragon in my deck, so I didn't even know. But so basically what it does is when it is summoned, you put your hand back into your deck, and then you take draw 5 cards out of the top 5 cards out of your cemetery, and then also this card can't be taken out of the cemetery itself. So but anyway, my buddy Adam was playing with this deck, and I was like, you know what? He just won his game, and I was like, here, I'll play against it. But I was playing my competitive Elkanos deck, so I didn't have any. He's playing all these busted cards, and I didn't have any. And it got to a point where he was playing Scarlet on the field, and I had Flame of the Infinite. If anyone knows how Scarlet works, you need all your hit dice to match to hit her. And I wasn't able, I had Flame of the Infinite, which gives me an extra hit dice, so I had to roll 3 hit dice. But anyway, he was really close to playing Time Dragon to basically loop all of his cards, go infinite, whatever you want to call it. And I just so happened, I was like, oh, I'm not going to hit out of this. And then was able to hit him on the last Elkanos and got a big whack and was able to kill Scarlet, and then was able to actually kill all of his other creatures before he could find his Time Dragon, and then won the game. So I wanted to tell this story because even the famous Time Dragon can be beaten. But it is a very strong card.
Skill issue. He wasn't using Dragon Tamer. That's his fault.
Yeah, there you go. He didn't put Dragon Tamer in his deck. Not the fact that his deck had 3 Twisters, 3 what do you call them, Dragon Rages, so he could just draw infinite cards. But yeah, nah, like you said, I think the league is fun. I think, like you said, it's a good showcase of, you know, how these decks are gonna play out and all this, or like how busted all these cards are, why they deserve to be on the limited and ban list, and then also, like you were saying, it's just a little bit of fun for everybody. You know, we're playing this league, you get to 6 weeks, it's like, hey, it's nice to have some little fun weeks here and there that are like, here, let's change up some stuff. Like I think the average Joe, you know, we're cementing it, average Joe format was awesome, and I really enjoyed that one too. Liked it. But going forward, I think we just have week 6 left, and then that's the end of the regular season for the summer league, right? And then we're on to playoffs.
No, we got 8 weeks.
Oh, we got 8 weeks. My bad.
Yeah, we got three left. So yeah, finish this week and then 3 more.
Okay. My bad. So yeah, we have 8 weeks. For some reason, my brain, I was thinking 6 weeks, but yeah, 8 weeks. Ooh, we still got a little ways to go. Then, all right. I'm waiting. Me and Billy haven't played off yet, and that's definitely gonna be a fun one. If we end up matching,
forward to it.
But
yeah, I mean, so there's 12 people in the league in the summer league, right? So there's 8 games, so not everyone gets to play each other. So
yeah, but you should get to play most people, right? Because with 8 games, 12 people, yeah. Nice.
You play most people, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. But anyway, I think we're gonna move forward. But again, the summer league, I think it's been such a great experience, and honestly, like going forward, I don't really see why. I don't know, Billy. I haven't really talked to you, but it's like maybe we should do like a winter and a summer and just try 2 in a season. I don't know.
We're doing another one. I just don't know what season it'll be.
That's true. Or whatever, we can get it figured out. But I think, you know, there definitely in the future will be another one. Me and Billy got to discuss it, you know, so we'll figure that out. But yeah, I like I said, really happy with the league, and it was a very good idea. Going forward, we're going to talk about a little bit of Excalibur Con. So that is the next tournament coming up. Right now, they're in Gen Con. We should just say it again. Gen Con is going on right now. For this weekend, I feel like, right? It's like Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going on right now, and they're doing that. So if you got time or you're planning to go there, like I said, leave it in the comments. You know, if you've already been there, maybe talk about your experience too. That'd be really cool. Or talk about, you know, what you're looking forward to. Going over to Gen Con. Again, me and Billy won't be able to make it there, but definitely would love to have people tell us their experience. And I already seen in the Discord, Billy, a couple people that have joined, and they're like, we were from Gen Con, and it's just like, woo, it's working. I think those cons are a great way to get new people into the Ward for sure.
You got in through a con, right?
I did. Excalibur, well, it's called Teeb Con last year, but now it is Excalibur Con, which we are covering right now, so yeah. But I guess with that, we will dive into Excalibur Con. So yeah, I last year, like I said, it was called Teeb Con. This year it's Excalibur Con. It's going to be on the 16th and 17th, so the week of August 16th and 17th. It will be a two-day event. There's going to be Ward there for both days, and obviously they have a bunch of other vendors, a bunch of other tournaments and things going on. So tons of stuff to do. It's here in Duluth. Actually pretty close to my hometown. So, yeah, Duluth, Minnesota at the deck. And so it's going to be, like I said, 2-day event. I'm all over the place. And basically, yeah, go in, play Ward. I think they're going to have a tournament each day. I'm pretty sure it's only pack cracks though, so you can bring your cards, but yeah, there won't be any official like bring your own deck. But obviously there'll probably be tons of people to play. I'm sure you can play the Ward staff there too, and with your deck. So still bring your decks, but definitely make it out to those pack crack tournaments. You know, even if you can't make it both days, try to make it one and get it yourself on the official rankings, because those will be official tournaments. You know, so definitely want to get on the rankings, right, Billy? What's your thought with the rankings? I'll always want to get on there for the competitive players.
I'm not on there yet, so yes, I would like to be out there.
Yeah, I'd
Gotta go
say
win the game though.
it's
Yeah,
weird. It's weird to watch your name. I was about to say, Billy, we both are not ranked players. We are both unranked, and we're not on the rankings at all at this moment. We're not good. Don't people should probably not listen to us anymore, Billy. Pack it up. Let's go.
not irrelevant.
But I think with that weekend, me and Billy will definitely make our way back up the ladder a little bit. We got a little bit of a climb. We got to catch up for sure.
It's a pack crack, so you could. I mean, anything can happen. So,
yeah, I'm hoping it's double a limb though, right? Give us two chances, please. I would hope.
Why not?
We'll have to
Right?
see, but
Yeah. So I will be there. So they're doing a pack crack tournament both days. Buy-in's a starter deck, I guess. I will be there Sunday the 17th, and you will be there both days, right?
Yep, I'm gonna be the 16th and the 17th, so you'll see me both days. You know, definitely got to represent, and definitely if you want to come out and say hi or whatever. I know there's a couple people in the Discord that have already messaged me that are saying, "Hey, I'm coming up for that," and it's just like kind of cool. Like I think there are people that we haven't even really seen in the competitive scene yet, and so it's like to get some new faces and new people in. I think it will be good, and I'm sure a lot of the regular people who have already been in the the Ward scene are going to be there too. So if you're looking to meet a bunch of the Ward players and staff, and like I said, this is kind of a little bit of our backyard. A lot of us are pretty close. I mean, they come from from Hibbing, so it's like you're kind of right in that area. So you're gonna get a bunch of people that have already been pretty competitive and in the Discord. I would say the majority of pretty spoken people, like me, you, KC. I'm trying to think. Jeremy, Scott, I'm sure will be there. There's going to be a lot of them. Ryan might even show up. That would be awesome. I haven't seen Ryan in a little bit, so definitely like to see him at a tournament. But yeah, anyway, so that will be Excalibur Con again, 16th, 17th. Make sure you get your tickets now. Go on their website. It'll say, get ticket or whatever. Get your ticket and make sure you're ready to rock and roll for that week. Because yeah, we'd love to see you guys there. That'll definitely be our kickoff for the ranked season. So will be a good time.
I might. That's definitely my kickoff for the rankings for that weekend because Curious Crow is hosting an official tournament the 16th, which is here in the city. So I'm going to that one.
Okay. And then I'm going to Man's getting a whole week of Ward 2. That's awesome. Yeah, I did notice that.
Start strong.
I did notice that. The Curious Crow, yeah, they threw it, and it's like a 2 p.m. tournament. They're still doing them a little late, but I'm at 2 p.m.'s way better than 5 p.m. I was surprised, not gonna lie, to see that a lot of people, they had a pretty decent showing for that tournament. I was like, I can only imagine what time they've left there. So if there were people out, I mean, Joe T was the winner. I mean, I know he lives in Hibbing, so I'm pretty sure that was.
He lives in Hibbing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's from Hibbing. So I think he had quite a drive out there, and then he had to drive back at God knows what hour of night. So hopefully, I love the Curious Crow guys. See if you can try to get those tournaments. I mean, like I said, there's 2 o'clock now for this next one, but like get them a little earlier so some people can make it. But I get it.
Talking to Adam M. He's one of my buddies. He got second place, so he lost to Joe in the finals, and I wasn't able to go. I was out of town or whatever, and so I asked him about it. I was like, "Yeah, that thing started at 5 o'clock. Like, how did it go?" He's like, "Oh gosh, it was so late. I think we left at like 11 o'clock at night." I'm like, "Yeah, well." Obviously later than when the store was supposed to be open till. So I don't know. Actually, maybe they stay open kind of late. Either way, too late for my blood. So 2 p.m. is a little bit better in my opinion.
Yeah, no, and I'm glad you're able to make it out there, like you said. Just finding ways to get into the rankings. It's like I know. Last season it was like, oh, you didn't really have to commit too much, but I think as Ward is starting to grow, and they're starting to have tournaments, all over the United States. It's like. It might be a little trickier to get to the Ward Bowl, so you might have to compete in a couple more tournaments than you might think. So I definitely want to get the ones that are at least in my area for sure, and then definitely if Curious Crow starts putting some earlier ones, I'll definitely make it go into the cities probably a couple times to play some for sure.
Well, they're I can't speak for them, but I think what they're trying to do is do one a month. That's kind of they had one last month. They're having one in August now, so
no, it's solid.
I mean, be great for me. I don't want to travel too far if I don't have to. So I'm gonna try to make all of those, and then Make a couple of them up north, and that should be solid enough, I think.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Like I said, I have a lot of the those areas like Hibbing and stuff are pretty close for me, so it's like, oh yeah, we can get there. And then I'm trying to talk to the owner of Globe too and stuff, and see if we can get a tournament going there. Obviously, like you said, it sometimes you're like, oh, they look at their schedule and they're like, oh yeah, well we have all these other big event things starting and stuff, and like I know Magic releases sets so often too that it's just like trying to compete with those slots for tournaments and times can be kind of tricky. But definitely, I mean, as the season goes on, I'm sure Ward will definitely have plenty of opportunities for people to get in on the rankings. So again, make it out to these things. Come to ExcaliburCon. Sounds like if you're near the cities, Billy said the Curious Crow is also having one that Saturday. So whatever you can do, make it out to these tournaments and try to play in them. Definitely a fun time. Moving on though, Billy. So I had a question from somebody, and they wanted us to talk about it on the podcast. They said, if we had the opportunity to make Gen 3 cards, what cards would we make in order to put into Ward to basically, I would say like add to whatever we think like Ward doesn't really have at this moment that maybe would, adjust the competitive play right now, I think is kind of the way I want to like scope this question. And so what I thought would be a fun thing for us to do is talk about maybe each go over like a creature card that we would add from Gen 3 to maybe like change up the meta or change up, hate using the word meta, but change up, the way that competitive play is right now, a Magic card. And then I thought we would just do like our own little like flavor card, a card that me and you kind of like our own little secret sauce that we'd want to throw into Gen 3 too. So I thought we'd bounce back and forth off that. So if you wanted to, we could talk about card ideas. So here we go. Put on your card thinking brain. I have to say, if you're someone who is in card ideas and you like to make card ideas, that's awesome. I am definitely not a card idea guy. You probably will never see me post an idea for a card in there. I don't know what it is. My brain is not great with the creation, but any card you make, I will find a way to break it in some way and make it good and Ward. But what do you think, Billy? You ready to create some cards?
Let's do it.
All right. So, yeah, let's start with creatures. So, in Gen 3, what is a creature that we would like to see? And I feel like my brain, I was looking at some of those creature ideas that people are posting. My brain just jumps right to, like, their cards. And I'm like, oh, yeah, maybe we should just have that creature in the game. But is there any specific creature that you would think would be a good card, going into the game?
Sure. We're doing silly or actually, like, I think it'd be fun.
Well, I just think of like the meta and think about cards that it's like here, like this card would probably like maybe shake up, like it would find a place in where Ward is at the moment, I guess. And again, obviously that's a little like, oh, it's Ward's kind of all over like different decks and stuff. But like, what's a card that you would like a creature you'd want to see that could affect like what is being played at the moment for like competitive? Ooh. Tricky.
I'll just answer what I was gonna say. I don't think it'd be meta defining or anything like that.
All right.
It'd be fun.
Give me your creature. Yeah, let's do a fun one.
We have Raccoon that goes into a Raccoon Knight, and then I think we should have Beaver that goes into Beaver Warrior or something like that. And it's essentially the Gen 3 equivalent of Raccoon Knight, which would be a 4+4 AL12, doesn't require a sacrifice, whatever. I think it'd be fun to have, you don't have to have carbon copies, but you can mix it up a little bit, make it different, I like giving purpose and or at least like artistic utility to like Raccoon to Raccoon Knight, and Beaver is just kind of there. So he's like, he's just a Beaver. So like Beaver and Beaver Warrior would be fun. I don't know. So that's my answer.
I like
4+4 Beaver Warrior.
I think that's the cool thing about Ward 2, like that you brought that up. It's just like to have. That's the thing about like reprinting cards is like they have this thing about like, ooh, their picture is near a lake or like has water in it, right? And then it like does like double damage. So like you could make different copies of these cards, like you said, like Raccoon Knight, but put them into different backgrounds or have different things. So it's just like in certain metas, It's like, here, if this is a card that can, maybe like doesn't get affected by whatever's being used in the meta, and so it's like, okay, I'd rather use that version of it than like the Raccoon Knight. You know what I mean? So it's like, I do think Ward is kind of cool in that regard, where I don't think a lot of other card games can work like that, where it's like, oh, this creature is in water. So if there's a creature that counters water creatures, I don't want to run that, right? But it's like, oh, now I can run this other version that basically has the same stats, but it isn't in water, right? And I think that's probably the coolest part about it.
Or just, I really like what Raccoon Knight does with, like, it's an AL12 and it's a 4+4, but it doesn't require a sack. But I'm running a elemental deck, and I want to have the theme be consistent. So you can make, I'm not going to call my dead over. You can make like cards that are thematic, right? So, like, for example, if I was running a haunted deck, a Halloween deck, Blade in the Dark, I mean, it kind of fits. Haunted Tree absolutely fits. Same card, they're just different images, right?
Yep.
Different titles. So, if I'm trying to be thematic, like, I can pick the thematic version of the card I want to play.
No, exactly. I really do like that. Like you said, I think the game, those are those kind of cards where it's like, oh, the game, it doesn't really like change the game, but it is just kind of like, here, I like beavers more than I like raccoons. Hot take, a lot of the raccoon cult come after me.
You're wrong, but you're free to have your opinion.
Yeah. But anyway, the beaver, I want to be the beaver instead of the raccoon, and I think that's cool. Then they clash. Then we have a cult of beavers, a cult of raccoons. Now they can go at it. So see, Billy, see what you're starting. You're starting some cult wars, and there we go. Ward is gonna have its own little cult war.
You can lead the beaver charge, whatever.
I definitely I'll find my small creatures for sure. Don't worry. I don't know if it's beavers, but we got plenty to choose from, So maybe mine will just be birds. I'll just do the giant eagle cult. I need Birdman. It's just a picture of that, like, Rick and Morty Birdman.
Yeah. What's your card you want for Gen 3?
All right. People are going to hate this. I'm on the Alec train. It's definitely a card that just screws over all these, like, AL12 speed crap creature. I'm sick of seeing speed 12s, mainly because my Alkanos are only 11, and so I get so annoyed when assassins and all these things. So I want a creature. I don't know if you call it, like, Rock Slide Golem. Kind of a sick name my head thought up, but basically it'd be like a rock, like sliding rocks, but what it does is reduces everything's speed, because you're on whatever, a rock slide, so you aren't being, even if you're an assassin, you're having to reduce your speed because you can't go faster. And so I don't know if it would reduce it, like, every creature's speed by like 4, or every other creature's speed by 4, or whatever the requirement is. But either way, it's just a reducing speed creature. I don't even think we have those in this game yet. I don't think there's a single reduced speed creature that I am aware of. Yeah. See?
Nope.
See, Billy? That would change up the meta. No more assassins. No more AL or speed 12 creatures. It would get rid of them all. So then my Alkanos are the fastest, because they have wings. They don't get slowed. They don't get slowed by rock slide.
Okay, well, then we'll move on to the Magic card, because I have a card.
You're telling me you don't want assassins in the meta? Come on.
No, I don't. No, I don't, actually. Okay, and I don't want your dumb birds. Okay, so
hey, it would affect them too.
I will. I was gonna just pick something stupid. I'll just pick something I already put in the chat. Well, a couple months ago, I put Cage Match.
Ooh.
And it's it's a field card. While this card is on the field, only primary creatures can cause damage. Send this card to cemetery after 2 turn cycles. No more limited summon bullcrap. Mono, your creature's fighting my creature. That's it.
I like it. Ooh, okay, yeah, I like Cage Match. I like, like you said, you basically just, it's like a cosmic negation, but it just is like in that instance, right? Like, is that what I'm kind of getting from that? It's just, or is, no, what was it again? I'm sorry. It was like you pick a creature
only
from your...
primary creatures can cause damage.
Gotcha.
So, like, Limited summons
can't do anything. Oh, okay, so you're like putting a cage around them. Yeah. I gotcha. Okay, so
the creatures have to fight each other.
Okay,
or wait, they can just wait it out, I guess.
Gotcha. So like basically no burn damage. Okay, yeah. I think that'd be a really fun card. I think obviously like you said, certain decks would definitely benefit a lot from that card. Yeah, no, I think that would definitely find its way into like the meta too. Yeah, I like Cage Match. I think that is a cool card. All right.
And if it's your 2 turn cycles that it shouldn't exceed, So.
everything should be 2 turn cycles. 3 turn cycles, like you gotta think that's 6 turns. 6 turns is a lot in a 30 card game. I'll say this every time. A game where you have 30 cards in your deck, technically 25 after turn 1. 6 turns is quite a bit of time for 3 turn cycles on cards. So it's like I will always advocate that, Billy. You're right. 2 turn cycles is probably the sweet spot. So
you're right. I should have a mysterious door come back after 2 turn cycles instead of 3. You're right.
I honestly I do. I think that card is, and Junk Scarecrow, my hot take again, pretty bad. I don't like them. I think they do take they take way too long. And like you said, yeah, they're great at the end of the game. They're not that great during the game, like in my opinion, but whatever. We're not talking about that. We're not here to judge cards. We're here to make cards, Billy. So I'm going to make a magic card.
What's your card then?
All right. Ready? Okay. So there's way too much bounce in the game. So this is going to be a field spell that does not allow any bounce. No. Don't worry. I'm going even further. It's going to be a better bound with chains. So not only will it stop bounce, but it will stop cards from going, like, besides getting killed from battle, they can't go in, reoccur from the cemetery. And the only way they can, you get what I'm saying? It basically makes it so you can't draw from your graveyard and you can't play any bounce from your hand. Nothing can get bounced back to your hand. Nothing can get played from your cemetery. What do I call this? Bouncy castle or something. It doesn't allow you to. Nothing can get out. I don't know. That's a bad name.
You suck at picking cards.
That is a bad card name. I don't know. I'm trying to think. What's a punny thing with bounce?
You need to make it anti-bounce.
Yeah, anti-bounce.
It's a field card. So make it I don't know.
We'll just anti-bounce for now. We'll call it anti-bounce. No gravity, or no, what is that? Too much gravity.
Too much gravity.
Too much gravity. You can tell I'm the best at making cards. Here we go, Ryan. Somebody in there. Gravity. Someone make too much gravity. That's the new magic card. Anyway, it doesn't. So for 3 turn cycles, ready, Billy? This is where I'm breaking the rule. For 3 turn cycles, you can't bounce anything back to hand, and you can't send anything back to the cemetery. For 3 turn cycles.
Because there's too much gravity. Oh, for 3. 3. Yep. Oh.
Yeah, I told you I'm breaking it. I'm breaking my rule, but that's only because I don't think it's that strong of a card. But 3 turn cycles, you can't bounce for 3 turns. What do you think? I mean,
I'll allow it if I get to have my judgments back.
Okay, if that card brings back judgment, I'll allow it too. Yeah. I agree. I think I love Bound with Chains. I think that Bound with Chains just needs to do a little bit more. And I think if Bound with Chains was stop this, stop that, chain it all up, I think that'd be cool, but it doesn't do that. But if it did, I think that'd be a really cool card that I think would actually...
I'm still working on it. Bound with Chains is a really hard card to make work, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, I think it is still... It's still strong, but I really do think a card that is a better version of that, like I said. But I don't want it to shut too much stuff off. And this is where I think fun, cool field spells can exist, where they just do enough to be worth playing, but they don't totally just shut out your opponent from playing the game, because I think that is just the boring whatever. Which again, that's where I also want them to kind of chop out some destruction cards, because I think just don't make cards with inherent destruction built into them. I understand you're trying to prevent a lot of goofy plays potentially. I'm assuming is why they were if you're gonna draw, you can't also just vomit your cards out and get value out of drawing. I think that's why Twister exists in the way it does, right? And a lot of these Dragon Rage, a lot of their card draw is based off the fact that it also destroys, which I'm assuming it was intended because it's here, I draw 3 cards, it's my turn, I play 3 cards, I draw 3, you know, without destroying all of the cards that I just played out. I'm assuming that's kind of why their draw mechanic. I know maybe you've never put thought into it, but that I didn't even think about it until I just was like, why would they put destruction on draw cards? But I think it makes sense. So you can't like spit out your whole hand, make your opponent have 20 cards, and then pass over. Now they have to discard all that value, and you still got value out of it.
Yeah. Oh, I had a question for you.
Okay.
As you said, I don't want stuff that just shuts everything off. So my magic card was Cage Match. You know, only primary creatures can cause damage. Okay, so limit summons.
Yep.
Damage, whatever.
No burn damage.
What if I instead said, what if it was limited summons, just straight up can't be played? Just it's like an infinite field card. Just no more. You got to destroy it if you want limited summons.
Yeah, I like that too. And 2 turn cycles I think is pretty fair.
No, but what if it was just infinite? Like,
it's definitely way stronger. Is that all it does then? It's no longer like primary creatures. It's just you can't play limited summons.
No, like we'll call it a completely different card. Just like I don't.
Okay.
I don't know what you call it, but like.
Is that
no limited summons? Just.
So, but if they're on the field, you can have them, but you just can't play anymore, right?
Can't play anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's the only healthy way you do it, though. The only healthy way you do it is you allow the ones that have already been played to be played, but anything like else can't be played. I like that, but I would say if you made it where it's just like, oh, it bounces all limited summons back and you can't play limited summons, probably way too strong.
No. Like if
that's kind of ridiculous.
There, you know.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, it's kind of like I'm trying to think of an example. I don't know. I'm just.
No, I think you're making a good card. Like you said, limited summons are kind of a deck that are pretty strong at the moment. So it's like having a card that kind of counters that, I think, is definitely needed in Ward for sure. Yeah. I think they already kind of exist, but they're not in that specific of like a thing, right? It's kind of like back to like my speed example. Like there isn't a creature that lowers speed on other creatures, and there also isn't a card. Well, technically there is. All right, Billy. Forest Demon technically lowers the speed if he's not on the field, but I don't like that example because he's in a magic card at that point, right? He's not.
He gets treated.
So he's technically not a creature card. So I still get to win that argument. So whoever goes into the comments and is like, "Ha, Forest Demon, I got you," like, nah, you didn't get me, buddy. Anyway, but you know what I mean. I like where you're at with that card though, because like you said, limited summons are a mechanic, and that card deals with that mechanic, which I think is something they don't really have like in the game yet. Which again, do we want everything to have super hard counters? No, and I don't think it like super hard counters, but I think it is strong enough where it's like you might, if limited summons are just constantly being played, you know, if everyone becomes an Elkanos player, that card is going in my deck, like for sure.
I promise you. You don't have to worry about that.
I think it's funny. I was like, here, I'm going to convert everybody into being into birds and stuff. And like, everybody's just anti. They're like, no, I don't want nothing to do with that deck. Get that thing out of my face. It's okay. Eventually they'll just have to conform to it. And I'll just have to keep beating with it. Anyway, all right, let's get to our last card, Billy. So this is our flavor card. This is the card that we personally would just want to put in. Might be busted, might not be. Probably going to be something to the way we like to play Ward. So like, make a card for the way you like to play Ward, Billy. What would that card look like in Gen 3?
The way I like to play Ward?
Yeah.
I'll say a generic card first, and I'm gonna do a generic card first, and then like a fun version of it.
Okay.
I personally really liked, and do really like I'm gonna call them like mulligan cards. So like you play a card to mulligan your hand, right? So like I play a card, I have 5 cards in my hand, put them in your deck, shuffle, draw 5. Yeah, a reset. We'll call them hand resets. Yep. I like those a lot. So we'll call it
like Wrath of the old ones, kind of in a way, but yeah.
Sort of, yeah, but Wrath only resets the field. It doesn't really reset your hand.
Wow, wait. It makes a lot of sense, Billy. Sorry, not to cut you off. Why you like Ward then? Because Ward that's literally just the built-in mechanic in Ward is just the mulligan mechanic.
Nice, yeah. I don't have to be punished for not having enough creatures. Yeah.
Yeah, so you might as well just call that card reset, and then it just makes you mulligan your hand.
Yeah. Both players. I want to make sure you're getting it too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to piss everyone off, Billy. Nice. I love it.
Yeah. My fun version of the card would be put your hand on top of your deck and draw the same number of cards from the bottom of your deck.
Oh, okay. Honestly, yeah, I think that's a fair version. Because I think there are some cards that put cards to the bottom of your deck, and so it's like that could kind of like counter those cards in a sense. I don't know. I kind of like that a lot, actually.
Yeah, if you feel like gambling, you're like, I feel like my good cards at the bottom of the deck, I'll just draw from the bottom instead.
See, would it be busted if it was both players and they get to pick 1 through 3 and they can put either like 1 card back, 3 cards back, like with that, and then draw that same number of cards, or would that be too strong?
No, it has to be your whole hand.
Has to be, so you would just have to get rid of everything. Okay.
Yeah,
but you would always get the same amount of cards back. I'm assuming, like there wouldn't be any way to.
Yeah, like if you had 8 cards, you put 8 cards to draw. If you had 2 cards, you put 2 draw 2. Whatever.
No, that's fair. I like that.
It helps. It actually helps your opponent more than you. So
yeah, you're really your card is really supporting that argument that I feel like I'm making with like draw power and ward. Like I said, since you have a 30 card deck, I think it honestly all the draw power it needs is mulligan effects that just let you shuffle out cards from your hand, put them back in your deck, and then shuffle like draw cards out, right? So that you're getting that equal value. I just don't think a 30 card game needs Twister, needs Dragon Rage. It's like it doesn't. I don't think the game needs those cards, in my opinion. Like, it just needs cards that give you equal value, so that there is like very minimal like draw power, like strength, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with if it gives your opponent +1 card advantage, like. Sure, whatever.
Well, I see, but that's the hard thing because, like you said, it's like that's how they wanted to balance out these draw cards. But I think it almost becomes like a bad part of Ward, in my opinion, like an unhealthy thing is having your opponent draw cards. Because then again, that's where you get these silly things where people make you draw your whole hand, your whole deck, and then so it's like I really do want to get rid of those mechanics. I don't want that to be like, I like that the 8 card hand it's a great mechanic. I don't want that to be a way that people abuse the game. And I think if we were to talk about what inherently abuses the game right now, it is draw power, forcing your opponent to discard way more cards. Yes, maybe it isn't like Gen 1 where it was specific your opponent could draw like discard cards, but it still is just a lot of annoyingness in the game, in my opinion, of like, all right, now I have to discard 7 cards on my turn. Like, I don't think anyone wants to do that. So, like, in my opinion, like a healthy version of Ward is having cards that just, like you said, mulligan, shuffle, redraw my hand. You're only working with 25 cards, like I said, after turn 1. Like, that's not a whole heck of a lot. That's 25 turns if you don't have any like switching of cards or anything to like find your cards. So
if you do the math on it, if you Twister a bunch and Dragon Rage, well, Dragon Rage is different, but if you Twister specifically, you make them discard cards, you don't come out ahead because you're giving them a card advantage, and then you had to spend a card in your 30 card deck to make them discard.
Yeah, a card.
2 cards, maybe a card. Yeah, so even if they only discard 1 card, and then they get to choose between the 9 cards that they got to put in their deck that you only got to put in 8, 7 of equal value. Right? So like you're just giving them a selection.
I'm hearing
the reason why there has to be destruction on the draw cards is because it only works in your advantage if you're destroying some of their cards.
Yeah, I get that.
That's where it's an equal trade.
But I just think okay, and then you're coming to my second thing that I think is like a little bit of a problem with the game at the moment. But let's just stick to the card drawing. I agree with you. I just think it's hard when people play this game, and like I said, if like the way I look at these questions is like, if a new person came into the game, what would I not want them to have to experience? I would not want a new person to have to experience drawing out almost their whole deck in potentially 1-2 turns and then having to discard all their cards. I don't want someone to have to experience that, and unfortunately that is a possible thing that can happen right now in Ward. And then, like you said, the same thing with destruction is just there's so much destruction that it almost feels like it's like, oh, I have to really like be careful about like all these different like there's so much built-in destruction that it's like you can't really like play around destruction, I guess, is my another like point that I have. And again, these are my opinions. You can go in the comments, everyone can disagree, you know, say that I'm wrong, but like I think if you've been a player and you've seen what can happen with Frog of Fortune, with Visitor from Beyond, with Twisters, and whatever people bringing him back. I mean, Tyler, I wish he was on here. He made the, you know, you guys kind of built that Eternal Turbo deck. It's like those things exist, and you're right. So, do you get much more value out of it? No, but just having to make a player discard cards, it just feels very like not a mechanic I want in Ward. You know what I mean?
Sure. What I will say is that because I tested the deck extensively with him, like over and over and over again, what you find out and it's just inherently true from giving your opponent card advantage and then having to discard for yourself to play it again, is that if you go to if you wombo it, you draw 20 cards. It's not even possible yet. I think the max is like 16.
Yeah, I think the most.
If it all lines up perfectly, you can't even do it all. Like the original Dragon Rage was much worse. But either way, so let's say you get the perfect wombo off. It goes off in the exact order. The only reason that it works is because you have to win the game within a turn or two.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you've yucked your resources to the cemetery, and then your opponent gets to say, okay, out of my 18 cards in my hand, which cards help me beat my opponent?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you're tossing and you're drawing, you're tossing, so like it only works. That the reason why that coupled with the Eternal Dragon is because you can get if it all lines up just right. And you put the gambit on it, then yeah, you can put the dragon and turn it in and kill it. So yeah. Again,
I'm not saying it's like I'm not saying that it's like always in every single game, but I do think just in general, discarding your cards away because your opponent's forcing you to draw, I don't really like that in that mechanic. If that is like a theme of like, let's just say they make some creatures that have that kind of theme with it, that's cool. I think the themed version of that's like you know what you're going against is nice. The fact that everyone runs Twisters, or not everyone, but for the majority of players, I know, but a majority of players like to draw cards, and usually, like I said, with built destruction on a card that also draws, a lot of people play the card. And like I said,
if someone plays a Twister against me, I'm thrilled because I'm like, sure. Give me card advantage.
I'd
be happy to take it.
I get what you're saying, but if it ever makes you have to discard, 3 or 4 cards, maybe not your whole deck, but even then, it's like it still just feels a little whatever. And I just think coming back to your card, a reset card, I think makes everything feel a lot better. Players would rather reset their hand than have to discard half their deck. Okay, can we just agree on that?
That's fair. Yeah. All right. We can agree on that.
All right. Fair. So again, I want to say I love your reset idea. I love the mulligan mechanic too, and I think that is really what Ward should try to emulate, at least in my opinion, for like a healthier version of Ward, is just have like resetting hand cards and not draw power cards. But yeah. Anyway, I'll move on to my card. I think we covered that in depth, and everyone got my opinion on it. So my flavor card, again, this is Gen 3. I'm a bird guy, so I'm gonna need you to hang in there, Billy, as we go in. All right. So this card is gonna be like double hit, but instead of your primary creature getting to attack twice, Billy, it's gonna let all your limited summons attack twice. Okay.
No, absolutely, I get out of here.
This is the ultimate limited summon card for limited summon decks. This is like their card that they put in their deck. And come on, you got to admit, here's the thing, Billy. The thing about it is it's gated by like killing your creature. That's the thing about double hit too. It's gated by killing their creature, so it only can give you value for the one turn, and it'll be like double hit. It goes away after combat, and I think that would be a great card for limited summon decks to have. Again, this is my flavor text, and I like limited summons. I like my Alkanos, and so I think that'd be a cool card. Instead of double hit, it does all the limited summons. So again, not every deck can run it. Not every deck can run it, but it's just a cool card that limited summons could run. And like you said, it's still gated by the fact that they can't kill the creature. So come on, that's a pretty balanced card, Billy. I don't want to hear it. There's worse.
Hey, I want it. That's not double hit. That's like septuple hit, because I can attack with 4 creatures. Octuple hit, deca hit, all 5.
You still have to set it up, because what if I put 2 of those in my deck and I open my open hand with it? It's like, yeah.
Oh no! Now my limited summons, which are doing 68 damage a turn, now they get to do 136. Go.
Whatever, fine, whatever. Hate my card. I bet my card will show up before your card shows up. There, that's the bet. Bet a pack on it. All right, booster pack. Whose card gets made first? What? Billy's reset mulligan card or my double hit limited summon creatures card? Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, we'll find out.
That's awesome. Nah, that was a great question though. Like I said, I think it's fun. I mean, Gen 3 in general, I mean, they did say like orcs are kind of like the theme. I'm assuming it's like orcs versus humans or whatever. So I mean, we kind of already have like a little bit of a gist of what potentially is coming, but I mean, what more can you say on that? Like, what do you think the orc mechanic is? I mean, to go over it, there is an orc in the game, right? And I think its ability is like, if you on its hit dice, if you roll a 6, you do double damage or double damage. And
if any of your hit dice are a 6, this card does double damage.
Yeah, so we have an orc card. So I mean, do you think like that effect is probably going to be maybe more prominent in these orc like thematic cards?
Never thought about that. I guess it's possible, right? I mean, I'm trying to think of like thematic cards that already exist that have similar mechanics. So like Steam, like they all are, for the most part, they're all can't be, well, kind of like Steam Golem and Steam Rex both can't be affected by magic, and they all have a little different flavor, but
yeah, they all have their like, oh, this does, like double damage to something. Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's possible. I didn't think about that.
Well, I just think, do you think that might be just like, I don't know how many orcs are going to be in this. I mean, I'm assuming there's probably going to be a majority of orc creatures. So it's like, do you think a lot of those creatures are going to have just like this 6 effect, like rolling hit 6s built into whatever, like with their other effects too? Like, I think that would be kind of cool. Like I said, maybe it's not do double damage, but it's just like if you roll a 6 on your hit, it's like if you roll a 6 on your hit, this happens or whatever, you know what I mean? I think that'd be kind of cool. I mean, honestly, like I said, that'd be a cool orc theme.
That'd be kind of cool. I like that idea. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe
well, like you said,
it makes sense.
Well, I just think you got to give them some props. Like some of their effects, like I said, orc doesn't really get played much, but it's just like, it's a cool effect. And I think if you just put different effects with that effect, I think it would be cool. Because it's not like you're rolling a dice to do an effect. It's like, here, when I hit, this is the effect I get if I rolled the 6. I think those are like, and the fact that you can manipulate, your dice rolls and stuff. I think that's really, it's a really cool mechanic in the game. So it's like, again, I really hope that that's kind of where they go with it. But you never know. Like you said, maybe they just kind of make different or whatever things. But that's kind of all we got to work off with Gen 3. But again, in the comments, go down if you like me and Billy's ideas. Say that you like them. If you don't, and maybe you have your own ideas of what you would like, go through it. Make a creature, make a magic card, and make your own little flavored cool card that fits you, the way you play Ward, and maybe we can discuss about it. I think that'd be a fun thing to do. But with that, Billy, I think we're wrapping up. Final thoughts. What do you got? What's your final thoughts with Ward at the moment?
Excited for the tournaments. Love the summer league. I've got a shameless plug since I'm allowed to do that. It's our podcast.
Yeah, plug away.
Oops, all epics.
Oh yeah, shoot. I was gonna ask you, but I'm glad you brought that. I almost forgot. I was like, oh yeah, Billy. Like I'm very curious. Like, dude, that was like the coolest little like thing in the Discord. It was like, here's these epics. I mean, what made you think of that? Like, how did you come? Can you kind of give us the little insider of how all that went down? Or
yeah, sure. I was just sorting cards, and I had a lot of duplicates, and for really all the epics for both generations.
Because you don't get any legendaries.
But yeah, I had a lot of extras, and I was just like, well, I got play sets of everything I need, and then I'm like, I'm sitting on because I've got my play sets, I've got my decks I've made. I'm like, maybe we need something that can help. I was really thinking, because I think Alec made the point of like, oh, this is actually a really good value for beginners or like people who don't have a lot of packs. Like, yeah, that was the point. Like, I have too many. It's going to be a plus to someone who's just getting into it to like supercharge their deck, get it going. And so I put a stack of Gen 1, a stack of Gen 2. I'm like, yeah.
Show that up again. I want to see those packs.
Yeah, I'll put it up. Yeah, so
no, I think it's a really cool idea, but like you said, I don't know, like how did you think about the packaging? Like you're just like I
don't know. I don't know. I thought it was kind of. I've always joked about oops, all swamp dragons for a deck of cards, or like oops, all holy lights, whatever.
Yeah, Adam V's is psychic toads. He gets so many psychic toads.
Oops, all psychic toads. Yeah, so like, yeah, oops, all epics, and then I've done quite a bit of Photoshop over the years, so I was like, I threw it in there, and then I started putting like different images for like with the guy in the circle, because that's originally Captain Crunch or whatever. I threw Ghost of the Past as like the first one. I'm like, no, that works.
Yeah, that's great. It hits pretty good. I like it.
But yeah, so if you don't know, I'm selling these. They're Oops All Epics packs. So you get 17 cards in here. You're gonna have 8 Gen 1 epics. You're gonna have 8 Gen 2 epics, and then a foil guaranteed epic at the end. It could be Gen 1 or Gen 2. Jeez. So yeah, and that alone is pretty good. Like all of them are available. I've got multiples of everything, so anything's possible if you need an epic, if you want to supercharge your deck, if you want to complete your play sets. Pretty good deal. So $65. I'll ship it anywhere, and you just Venmo me or whatever.
It is kind of I think it is a very good deal. I mean, personally, I think like $10 for like an epic seems like like that's usually like what I would say. It's like if people not that a lot of people are selling them, but like when people do talk to me, I'm like, oh yeah, like 10, 15 depending on the epic. Like some really good epics, I would say probably even more. So like I think 17
probably even more. Yeah.
Yeah, I think 17 for 65. Like I said, Billy's being pretty generous there. So yeah, hey, whoever needs to get their epic cards, definitely. I know there's a lot of new people in the Discord. I think that is a great thing. And like Billy, I just love your creativity. I mean, I wish I was more of a creative person. I like you're doing it. You're making some cool stuff. So you, Ryan, I mean, there's a couple people in there. It's like just
Ryan's got the really cool ideas,
dude. Yeah, and he's got a lot of time on his hand or something, because I don't know how he finds time to make all those cool crafts. I mean, like I said, it is really cool to see people that are making their own like memorabilia and things like part of Ward. It's just like, again, I love the wholesomeness. I love that like there are people here that like they're here, like they want to just be a part of this community, and it's awesome. But again, if you want to supercharge your deck, like Billy said, if you want some oops of epics or whatever the saying of that was, I butchered it. Go get
all epics.
Oops all epics. Go get some epics from Billy. Like you said, he's giving you quite the deal. So definitely get on that. For me, though, like I said, I think Excalibur Con, just the ranked season, I'm going to be the generic guy. Watch the WWB Summer League. If you really are interested, go in there. I mean, most people, have their games showing or say, like, here, I'm going to play it at this time. It's like if you're interested in watching it, go on Untap and watch the games. But like I said, Excalibur Con, that's where you're going to be able to see me and Billy, Saturday, Sunday, the 16th, 17th, say it again, make sure you get your tickets, all that stuff. Really looking forward to that, really looking forward to kick it off. Curious Crow, like Billy was saying, go to that tournament too, get your rankings up. But other than that, guys, I think we're going to call it, again, episode 24 of WWB. We'll see you next week.
Peace.